Hi, welcome to second tutorial of SAP Treasury and Risk Management. So in this tutorial, we will look at the fixed term deposit. We will go through the end-to-end business cycle of fixed term deposit. A fixed term deposit is a financial product where an individual or company deposits the money into a bank. In exchange, a depositor receives a set of interest on the amount deposited. At the end of the term, depositor receives the original investment amount and also the interest on the deposit. Now, the interest can be paid on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, or on maturity of the loan. So this is a simple definition of fixed term deposit. We will look at how a fixed term deposit is created in SAP system, what are the month-end entries, and what are the entries and tasks to be performed on maturity of fixed term deposit in SAP. Logging into SAP. So the transaction code to create a fixed term deposit in SAP is so you can see here the transaction code to create a fixed term deposit in SAP is FTR_create. So here you give a / and then enter the transaction FTR_create. This is the create. Now this is the initial screen. Let's remove the pre-populated values. So let me go through the fields. Company code, this is the company code which is investing the money with the bank. So we have selected 1000, the default SAP company code, but you can use any other company code. Product type, you do an F4 here, and for fixed term deposit, the SAP standard product type is 51A, which we are selecting. But however, at end of this course, we will go through a project mini TRM project implementation in SAP, where we will create our own custom product type and own custom transaction type, and that we will use for end-to-end transaction. However, for this purpose, generally consultants and companies will use the SAP standard product type. So the SAP standard product type for fixed term deposit 51A. Transaction type, this just shows whether you are investing the money or borrowing the money. In this case, if you say 100, it's investing the money. And partner, this refers to the bank with which we are depositing the money. So I have selected the bank BKDT BNKDE. Now this bank has been, this bank has been set up as a business partner in SAP with this identifier. That I will do after this creation of fixed term deposit, how we can create a bank as a business partner in SAP. Press enter. Now you can, here we see this is the initial screen, the tab is structured tab. So let's look at the field, the first field company code. This is the investing company code, product type 51A, which is deposit, fixed term deposit, external, and transaction type 100 means it's investment, not a borrowing. Payment amount, how much amount we want to invest. So let's say it's 100,000. Start date, what is the start date for this deposit? This is today's date, we say 5/2. Let's say if it's mature after 2 months, so we can put here plus and 2. You have an option to give the date manually, also enter the date, maturity date manually. Alternatively, you can just give +1, which means number of days, +2 means number of months. Okay. Now, percentage rate, the rate of the interest rate on the deposit, let's say 10%. Interest calculation method. If you click the arrow, you see multiple methods, actual by 360 days, actual by 365 days, ICMA, ISDA, and so on. For now, I'm selecting actual 360, which is the most common interest calculation method. Frequency, as we have said, at what frequency the interest has to be received from the bank. So we can say at end of term, that is on maturity of the loan, on last day of the month. It could be monthly, daily, etc. So let's say if I select monthly and I want it to be received on a quarterly basis. So frequency is monthly, but all here instead of 1, I will make it 3. So every 3 months, I'm going to receive the interest on my fixed term deposit. In this case, because the loan is only for 2 months period, let's select at end of the term. So interest will be received on maturity of the loan. Okay. Next tab, additional data. There is not very important field. So we move on to the next step, administration data. Here the two field portfolio and general valuation classes are very important. General valuation class drives the GL accounts to which your fixed term deposit will post. Again, when we go through configuration, we will looking at how we set up general valuation class. I have set up the general valuation class 1.1 for fixed term deposit. This is driving the GL accounts. So if you click on top environment and then click the tab position indicator, you can see the account assignment reference which are picked up, which are driven by this general valuation class. So all this we will discuss as part of our configuration, how, why this general valuation class 1.1 is coming. Now, looking at the portfolio, this is basically for the reporting purpose. I can select portfolio 1, which means when I'm running a report and I select the portfolio 01, any fixed term deposit, any interest rate instrument, any commercial paper assigned to this portfolio will be displayed in that report. Click the tab payment details. Payment details means the bank which will make the payment and also the bank which will receive the payment. Now these are coming from the business partner BK, DT, BNK, DE, which we have created. So I will just show you in a short while how we assign the bank accounts to the business partner so that they are appearing here. Okay, and other flows, like if you want to assign some flows such as charges, commission, etc., or even withholding tax to this fixed term deposit, that can be added here. For now I'm not adding any other flows. Let's look at the cash flow tab. Cash flow tab, it shows that on 5/2, that is today's date of creation, we are making a payment of 100,000 euro to the bank. And on 5/4 maturity of this fixed term deposit, we will receive back our original amount of 100,000 and also the interest amount of 166.67. Okay, so this is what we are receiving. And now let's look at the interest amount. The interest amount is 1,666.67. So if you select the row and double click it, we can see the interest calculation. So this interest amount is rate is 10%. It is calculated as 100,000 euro. It is for number of days 60 divided by 360. So that is correct as per the structure. It is entered in the structure. If you save, click the button save, the fixed term deposit will be created. So now we have created fixed term deposit ending with 94. So we have created fixed term deposit ending with 94. Now let's look at the next step. The next step as part of fixed term deposit in SAP is settle the fixed term deposit. So for that, the transaction code is FTR_edit. Enter the transaction code FTR_edit. The fixed term deposit is and company code are auto populated. Now click the tab settle. So what exactly is settlement? Settlement is just a way of cross verifying by a second person that the fixed term deposit is corrected correctly. Amounts are correct. The start date and date is correct. Interest rate is correct. And the cash flow, the bank details, etc. is correct. So it's a type of control, dual control, whereby a second person is checking that the fixed term deposit has been corrected, has been created correctly. Only when the settlement is done, then we can go to the payment of the fixed term deposit. So now press the button save, and with this the settlement has been carried out. The next step is post-inception flows. Now we have created the fixed term deposit in SAP, settled it. So we are going to post the inception flows. This means the money is going out of the bank and FI posting will happen for the initial investment. So for that, the transaction code is TBB1. Going to transaction TBB1. And here, and now fixed term deposit or money market. It's okay, you can select all these checkbox or you can just select the money market, because we know fixed term deposit is money market. Company code and enter your transaction number. In the up to including date, give the today's date when the loan is created. For first, initially we will do the test run. So we are looking at the inception test flows. It's green means it's good to go. Now you can deselect the test run to see the actual posting. Transaction code is TBB1, please note. Click the circle, execute button, and you can see the initial posting or inception postings have been done successfully for the fixed term deposit ending with 94. And here is the link to the FI document which has been posted. Okay, so let's click this link and you see the accounting document is there. So select this accounting document, one multiple zeros ending with 34, double click it, and this is the accounting posting. So here it is. The accounting document number is 34. It is posted on today's date, that is inception date. The currency is euro and the company code is 1000. Looking at the accounting, it has debited the fixed term deposit account. Now this is the GL account. This GL account has been assigned to the GVC class that we have selected earlier. Okay, so fixed term deposit, because it's an investment, this has been debited and the money is going out of the bank. Money is going out to the bank. So this is your cash in transit account from which the money is going out. So you are paying 100,000 euro and you are debiting or creating an asset in terms of fixed term deposit of 100,000 euro. Okay, now going to the next tab, this will be related to your month-end posting of the fixed term deposit. Now this fixed term deposit is for a duration of 2 months. So let's look at the month-end accrual, interest accrual posting, which will happen on the end of first month. FTR edit, I enter my fixed term deposit, click the display button, 5/2. So we created on the 5th February. Let's look at the accrual posting that will happen on the 28th February. So for that, the transaction code is TPM44. Interest entries only. Select the OTC transaction, which is your money market, forex, and OTC derivatives. Company code and give your transaction number. Okay, and if you scroll down, you can look at the posting we want on month end. So accrual deferral date is 29th February. And we are initially looking at the test run. If that is successful, we go for the production run. Looks good, green. Now you can remove the test run. You have given the date of the accrual posting is end of the month, which is 29/2, 2024. You have given your company code and your transaction number. Execute. And these are the entries. If you click the tab logs and messages, we can see more details here, and also these are the accounting documents which have been posted. Now very important, first you see there are 4 documents. So 001 is one valuation area, 002 is the second valuation area. Let's look at the main valuation area 001, which is the operative valuation area. Here you see 2 documents have been posted. So let's click this first document. In this first document, what we see, other payable interest. So continuing with the accrual posting, interest expense accrual posting at month end, I've created a new transaction deal ending with 95, company code 1000. The accrual key date is 29th February, that is end of the month. Now let's run this accrual expense transaction code. Okay, I've already ran it successfully. So for this month, as there was some settings config update to be done, which I have done it. So let me run it for the next month now. That is March 31st. And this loan maturity date is 5th April. So it's fine. We can run the accrual entries for the month of March 2024. So I've given the company code, transaction code 95, and the month and date 31st March. The screen is displayed. Now, if you click the logs and message, we can see more details. So you can see posting has happened in valuation area 001, which is operative valuation area, and 002, which is the non-operative valuation area. So let's verify the entries, interest entries in operative valuation area 001. Now, very importantly, one entry is on the month end 31st 3, and the second is on the 1st April, that is the next day. Now, this is because we are using the reset method for expenses calculation, accrual expenses calculation. So if you click this hyperlink here, this throws up the pop-up window and we can see our accounting document number ending with 42, company code 1000, and currency is euro. Now here the entries is the interest income. Because we have made an investment, it's an income for us. So the interest income of 1555.56 has been credited to this interest income account, and what we have debited is the receivables account. This is done on 31st March, so this will help with the balance sheet preparation for the month end. Now on 1st April, the next day, this entry you can see is reversed. So the interest income which was credited is now debited, and the receivable, similarly the receivable account which was debited is now credited. So the initial entry has been reversed. This is what happens in reset method, and on final maturity, total interest is calculated from the loan inception till the maturity, and it is posted to the interest income account. So that's the way reset method work. We have another method called difference method that can also be done, but in difference method there is no reversal. It will post your interest income only for a period following the last interest income posting. But for mostly the companies use reset method, so I've used the reset method here. Now let's look at the next step. So now we have done the month end accrual entries, and then finally we have entries on the payment on the loan maturity. So again, the transaction code is TBB1. You look at the loan maturity, which is on 5/4. So let's run the TBB1 on the loan maturity. April 5th. I will deselect the test run. Let's look at the posting log. So we have two entries, which is very clear. One is we are getting back our principal amount of 100,000. And second, we are getting the interest, total interest on the loan from its inception to the maturity. Let's look at the FI document. If you click the first one, you can see the bank account is debited with 100,000 euro, and the fixed term investment account which was debited is now reversed. Look at the next entry, and here we see the interest income account is now credited with the total income, interest income, which is 1,666.67, and it's not the payable account. Our bank account or cash in transit account is debited with this money which we have received from the bank. So this is the end-to-end process, business process for fixed term deposit in SAP. Let's look at one of the accounting report. It is very popular report. It's called TPM. The transaction code is TPM20. So go to transaction code TPM20. Give our transaction number 95, and we can just run it. So this will give various entries for this transaction, fixed term transaction. It is started on, you can see 29 second, then 1/3, then it's reversal, 31st 3, 1/4, 5/4, and final entry on 5/4. with all the details, like how much amount was posted, then the interest was posted, reversed as part of month and accrual entries, and then the final entries here, where you have received back your interest principal amount, and also we have received the interest income. Plus, there is a link to the FI document. The FI document numbers are there, and also there is a hyperlink. You click this, and it will take us to the FI document number. So with this, we have completed the end-to-end business process of fixed term deposit. In the next tutorial, we will look at the interest rate instrument, and there we will explore the variable interest rate functionality. And then we will go to commercial papers, and then we will look at the configuration, which is a complex part of all these treasury products. Thank you.